In this video, I just want to point out to you the differences between the effects you can achieve with graphite and the effects with metal point. On the left is a small graphite drawing I've done of a young harvester ant. This is in different widths of HB lead graphite in mechanical pencils. Now I just did a similar one in pewter metal point on a gouache sheet, and you can see it does have more of a timeless look to it. I'm not completely finished with it, but compared to the graphite, it really looks pale. Now there is some detail already put into it, but not a lot, and I have to fill in an area right there. But that is the difference between working in graphite and working in metal point. Now this is on Winsor & Newton Designer's Gouache zinc white, and the zinc there is zinc in the paint, and the zinc will actually react with the pewter, and this is looking more brownish than blue. So I can still continue to work and build up more darks, simply because pewter is such a soft metal. But I'm never going to get it as dark or as detailed or as defined as that. So both are good as far as pleasing as a drawing in shade and tone, especially when I fix that one area on the right in the pewter one. But you can see how they're completely different. The pewter almost looks like a ghost image, or an ant that perhaps lived a long time ago. Now that is appropriate for ants because they are one of the animals that have been around for about 100 million years. This is more recognizable, perhaps. This on the left would be better for print or photocopying. Metal points don't always photocopy or photograph well. But there are the two differences between graphite on the left and pewter on the right. And here you can see I've taken a 0.5 millimeter pencil and added some detail. So this is actually pewter and graphite now because I've just picked up a couple of details with a pencil. But it still doesn't match the one that's in graphite completely. Now one of the reasons I'm pointing this out is because ages ago, before graphite or the pencil was invented, when artists used to draw in metal point for their initial drawing, a drawing similar to this would then be painted over. So even though this has a almost even layer of gray pewter for the majority of the drawing, I could take watercolor and tint it with watercolor. And in early days, what they used to do is just more or less an outline of a drawing to get the basic drawing down for a painting. Now I could also use watercolor and tint this, and that would in fact hold the graphite in place. Modern watercolors are made with gum arabic, and that would form a slight coating as the watercolor dried. So it really becomes a personal choice. If you're going to go on and paint it, it would be a choice for your underdrawing. If you're going to keep it as it is, it would be a choice for how much detail you want to depict as a drawing, and whether or not you are going to take it to a step of painting. For my own, I work in both, and it depends on the effect that I'm looking for. if I were doing a design such as these all the time, I would probably go with the graphite. It's easier to work with. I know I'm not going to paint over it, and it's more defined. Now, I really love working in metal point, and I don't usually tint it. I usually work on wood with marble dust and rabbit skin glue as a surface on the wood to get that ageless kind of look to a drawing. But for living ants, which are what I'm studying now, for me personally, the graphite seems to fit them a little better. You see how you could almost superimpose the graphite on top of that as if that's another aspect of the ant? And that's why I think right now I prefer the graphite, because this is maybe the real ant, and that looks more like an echo of an ant or something through time.